Get it in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty!
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! London trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Armstrong played in the game, and a superb goal.
Tony Diddy. Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Welcome to the Scarf Pagara War. For this special edition, we're delighted to have League Two winner, PFA and EFL League Two team of the season, Northwest Football Awards League Two player of the season. He's captain of the county. It's Fraser Horsfall. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah.
All good.
Sound.
All good.
Yeah.
Good.
Really pleased. Thanks for joining us. It's really appreciated you doing this for us.
No worries.
First things first, then. You went off on Saturday. Is everything okay? I know you played on Tuesday, but...
Yeah, everything's fine. I just had a bit of a funny moment in the game. I went all lightheaded. I had to come off. The doc sort of said I can't carry on. I went for some scans the day after, and there were nothing showing on the scans. So I think it was just one of those weird things that happened. But obviously, I played Tuesday night, and I felt fine. So it's good news.
Good. Good to hear.
Yeah, good. Good stuff. Let's start at the beginning, if we may. So, you were youth at Huddersfield, I think. You went on loan to Trafford, Stalybridge Celtic, Salford City, and Gateshead before signing a loan and then permanent with Kidderminster. Have these sort of loans shaped the player you are today? Have you learned a lot from those loans? Was it beneficial to go out on loan before sort of being thrown in?
Yeah, well, I think that sort of made my career, really. Because at that age, I wasn't even starting for the under-21s team, and I was just thinking, I'm out of contract, I need to do something. And I was just willing to go, whoever took me. And at the time, it was Trafford. And I think, looking back on my career, that was probably the most important decision I made, to go on loan to Trafford. And it was really low down. I remember being at the game and looking at my mum and dad, and they were like looking at me as if to say, what is this sort of thing? How low we've gone. But it turned out to be the best thing for me. I was playing against men at 17, 18, kicking the ball long, getting used to sort of the physical side of the game. And then from there, it sort of just spiralled. I'd be on loan there for a few months, then I'd step up another league, go to Stalybridge, Salford, clubs like that. And it just sort of, it built me up. I was playing against, like I said, men from an early age. So I think it stood me in good stead, really.
Yeah, good stuff. And then obviously went to Northampton then, again, still sort of progressing your career. When the call came in from County, what was the thing that you thought, yeah, I fancy that? Was it, what attracted you to it?
Well, I were actually at the Halifax game where they got promoted. I was watching my mate who played for Halifax. So I were in the Halifax end, and it was obviously an unbelievable atmosphere that day. And I played there. I played against Stockport a few times, but years and years ago. But I'd never seen Edgley Park like that. And obviously, I met the manager. I met Mark Stott. They showed me around the training ground, and you could just see straight away like where the club were only going in one direction. So that was one of the main things, really. Just the drive of Mark, the gaffer, and Simon. I sort of met up with them, showed me everything, the plans for the stadium and stuff like that, and obviously the fan base that they've got. So it were a no-brainer for me back home as well, because I'd spent obviously a few years down in Northampton, so it was good to come home as well.
Yeah. So do you travel over then from? Well, you mustn't you travel over from Huddersfield for training every day? Bit of a commute, innit?
Yeah. There's all of the lads have got car schools, lads who live in Liverpool and stuff, but there's no one lives around me. We've got that many players, and not one person lives around me. So yeah, it's not bad. It's sound. I don't mind it. It's 40 minutes on a good day, so yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, good.
Do you pray for snow? at all.
You're-
So you can
you're
pray
sorry?
for snow so you can get an excuse to stay at home.
Well, to be fair, Gaffer, even if there was snow, I'd have to come in at some point in the day. But it does snow bad in Huddersfield, so
Yeah.
but we've been all right recently, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. Just going back to your injury you had I say injury when you came off. You know, last season when we got beat 4-0 at Tranmere, and obviously you did play, and it sort of that kind of told, didn't it? The next game, Gillingham, did you travel down by yourself, sort of still poorly, wanting to play? That's a rumor that's going around.
Yeah, so I was really, really ill, obviously on the Friday night. So I messaged him. There was absolutely no chance I could play on the Saturday, and I was still bedbound till Monday. I was still in bed on Monday, and Matt Jansen, who's at the club, who's a good friend of Mark's, he was like, "Look, I could take you down if you wanted." And on Tuesday morning, now I was sort of like, right, I lost loads of weight from not eating and being in bed, and I was just like, I feel a little bit better. I'll give it a go. So Matt Jansen actually drove me all the way down on the day. I met the lads in the hotel for the meeting, and then it's a long way, and then I played the game. So I was just hoping to get through the game, to be fair, but we were 0-0, I think it was. And obviously coming back from when we lost 4-0 on the Saturday, we were quite solid. So yeah, that were a bit of a mad day for me, that, but I were all right. And
I've got to ask, when you say you lost a load of weight, what's a load of weight in Fraser's house?
I think I lost like 3 kg.
Wow, okay.
So I felt like you can feel it, and obviously I'd been in bed for those 3 days or whatever. So, but the game went all right. It was a physical game, which suits me. So it were all right in the end. I think we should have won actually, but I think we took the 0-0 at the time after the 4-0 defeat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's in the end, it's kind of like one of the pivotal moments, wasn't it, of the season? Because we're obviously just been beat 4-0. Everyone thinks, oh God, here we go. We're going to start to wobble a bit, but you coming back kind of steadied the ship. Is that how you see it?
It's weird when you're playing in the season and stuff. There's loads of moments that you sort of think. We went through a little bit of a bad patch, and I think Newport at home sticks out to me when Paddy scored in the last kick of the game. That one sticks out, and then when Odin scored against Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Those for me, when I was playing in that season, those felt like the big moments to sort of be like, right, we're pretty much, do you know what I mean, going to get promoted. But yeah, those are the two that stick out in my mind for sort of when you talk about moments in the season.
Yeah.
At what point from there, then, did you think that the title's within grasp, or that we were going to win it, or was it always just secure, automatic before pushing?
Well, obviously the last few seasons, Wembley, and the year before that, Northampton had playoffs. So in my head, at that time, I was just like, I just want to get I have to get promoted. So, and we knew as well, like once we get momentum, if we win one, we know we'll win the next couple. And every time we got maybe a bit of a bad result or whatever, it followed by sometimes a negative result. So I think once we get momentum, we sort of knew, especially with the squad we had. And then obviously the Colchester away with the sort of the night we thought, yeah, it's done.
Yeah. And including yourself in this, there was loads of captains in that team, wasn't there, as well? We've talked about it on our podcast, like Paddy, Sars, yourself. There's probably more. Ben Hinchliffe as well. Did you feel that in the dressing room that you were surrounded by sort of, as you say, you're playing with men and you've got real captains around you? Was that kind of the idea? And that's a wrap for this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content and more. You can find us on X, Facebook and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!